All right, let's be real. Have you ever just wished you could clone yourself? Have an extra you that could grind through your to-do list 24/7, even while you're asleep, so you can actually focus on what matters? Well, today we're talking about a piece of tech that's getting scarily close to making that a reality. I mean, just listen to that. A 24/7 super intelligent AI employee. That is the whole promise of OpenClaw. And look, we're not just talking about another fancy chatbot here. No way. This is about having a dedicated, tireless digital worker that literally lives on your computer and gets real, complex stuff done for you. Okay, so what is this thing really, this digital employee? How does it actually work? It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but believe it or not, the way it's put together is actually pretty easy to grasp. At its heart, OpenClaw is basically a bridge, right? It's this free, open source framework that takes the massive brain power of a large language model, think something like Claude or GPT, and plugs it directly into the controls of your computer. It's what gives that big AI brain, well, hands and feet to actually do things in your digital life. And here's how it all comes together. First, you get the framework, which is just free open source code that you run yourself. Then you plug in the brain. You connect it to a powerful language model. And then, and this is the killer part, you start giving it commands through the chat apps you're already using every day. From there, it just goes. It takes what you say and starts controlling your browser, your files, whatever it needs to get the job done. All right, so what can this digital employee actually do? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, this is where things go from being just a cool tech demo to something that could genuinely change how you work. Because it's not just sitting there waiting for your commands, it can actually work proactively for you. Just imagine this for a second. You're out and about, and bam, a brilliant idea for an app hits you. Normally, you'd have to jot it down and wait till you get home. Not anymore. You just whip out your phone, open up Telegram or Discord, and fire off a message to your OpenClaw. And get this, by the time you walk through your front door, it could have already spun up a working prototype. That chat app becomes your command center 24/7 from anywhere. And the things people are doing with this are just wild. We're talking about having it build a custom CRM for a business completely from scratch. Or get this, it can spin up its own security council of AI agents to check its own code for vulnerabilities. It can act as your personal intelligence analyst, sending you a custom morning briefing. It can even manage your food journal just from pictures you send it. And the craziest part, this isn't some far-off future stuff. This is what people are doing with it right now. But maybe the most powerful feature of all is its memory. OpenClaw actually remembers everything, your conversations, what you like, what your goals are. So every single time you talk to it, it gets a little bit smarter, a little more personalized to you. It literally learns and evolves on the job and can even build new skills for itself to help you out better. Okay, so let's say you're on board. You're thinking, I need one of these. The next question is obvious. Where does this thing live? Where do you actually run it? And this, my friends, is a super important decision with some pretty big trade-offs. So do you set it up on a dedicated computer sitting in your house, maybe like a Mac Mini, and just give it the keys to the kingdom? Or do you put it in a secure, isolated little box in the cloud, what we call a virtual private server or a VPS? Okay, so let's break this down. If you run it on a local machine, you get maximum power, no question. The AI can see and do absolutely anything you can do on that computer. But, and this is a big but, that also means all your personal data is right there, totally exposed to the AI. Now, on the other hand, you've got the cloud VTS. This is all about maximum security. It's running in its own secure, sandboxed environment, totally separate from your personal laptop or phone. Honestly, for most people, this is the way to go. It creates that all-important firewall between this super powerful AI and the rest of your digital life. And yeah, this quote just nails the mindset you need to have. Think of it like this. If you hired a human virtual assistant, you wouldn't just hand over the password to your primary email in your main bank account, right? Of course not. You'd set up separate, dedicated accounts for them to use. You need to treat OpenClaw the exact same way. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly useful, but you want it operating at a safe, professional distance. And that right there brings us to probably the single most important part of this whole conversation. Because, look, when you give an AI the power to actually control a computer, security stops being just another feature on a list. It becomes everything. So let's just cut to the chase and ask the big question. When this thing has total access to a machine, can you actually trust it? Is it safe?
And the answer you get is, well, it's blunt, but it's honest. Is it secure? Yes, if you use it the right way. No, if you don't. The security here isn't just about the code itself. It's really about you. It's about how you set it up and how you manage it. This is a tool with an insane amount of power, and you absolutely have to wield that power responsibly.
And you have to be clear-eyed about the risks, because they are very real. First off, whatever machine it's running on, it has God mode, full admin access. That means it can see passwords, API keys, your emails, everything. Then there's something called prompt injection. Imagine a hacker sends you a perfectly normal-looking email, but hidden inside is a secret command that tricks your AI into sending all your files to them. Seriously. And finally, and this should be obvious, if you let it into a public group chat, you're basically just handing the keys over to a bunch of strangers.
So, knowing all that, it really boils down to 3 simple, non-negotiable rules. Rule number 1, isolate it. Always, always, always run it on its own dedicated machine or a secure VPS, not your main computer. Rule number 2, keep it private. This is your personal digital employee. It is not a public chatbot. Don't give access to strangers. And rule number 3, think before you type. Before you hit send on any command, just take a second and think through the potential consequences.
Look, OpenClaw is a glimpse into a pretty massive shift in how we use computers. It's the first time we're really seeing AI intelligence fused with the ability to take direct action in our digital world. It's giving you a tireless employee ready to build and create for you around the clock. The power here is, honestly, it's unprecedented, but so is the responsibility. So with all that in mind, the only question left to ask is, what's the first thing you're going to have it do?